Hello everyone and welcome to Fabled Nexus. I know I've been slacking a good bit, but we're here once again in all my stagnant glory, as they say. We're here to, record a video, hang out, have a good time. Don't know how long it's going to be, but today, actually, I kind of want to, it's not really a full review, but kind of a review. We thought about anime has been out for a hot minute, and probably a lot of y'all have already watched in your time or you're tenured on the animes. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Frieren. I think Beyond Journey's End. I think is what's called. I always forget the next part, but I think Frieren is how you say it. Hopefully, that's how you say it. Pretty sure. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the anime and stuff like that, because I haven't been watching for like the longest time, but I've seen a lot of clips of it recently, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it and see like actually how good it is and like all that stuff. So like, all right, I was like, well, I watched it as I do, and it actually is pretty good. I actually did enjoy the watch. I'm not fully finished yet. I think I have like 1 or 2 episodes left, but for the most part, I've gotten through pretty much most of it and everything like that. Now, what threw me for a loop is, not really for a loop, but what I didn't really understand about it, I guess, until I actually watched it was when you, spoilers alert, by the way, if you haven't watched it, you can click on this video, watch it, come back if you want to, but just letting you know there is spoilers ahead, just letting you know. But yeah, so if you really want to, I don't know why I was gonna say, if you really want to, you can subscribe. You can subscribe though. I don't know why I was gonna say that. But I mean, it's cool. But yeah, so when I watched it, I didn't know like how it was gonna play out with like how it flashes back. So there's a lot of times where Frieren's going on this journey, and while she's on this journey, there's a lot of times it flashes back to her days when she was with Himmel, Eisen, and I forget the priest's name. I don't know why. Forget the priest name. You have to forgive me for that one. Hilter? I probably mispronounced that. Forgive me on that one. But yeah, so you flash back and you see the journey, because there's a lot of things where they go to the same town. They kind of on the same journey, right? And when it has the name Beyond Journey's End, I didn't really fully understand that it is like actually like, so it's like the journey after the end of that 10-year like span that they do. I didn't know that, of course, going in. Like, of course, it's not really something I guess you would know when the first time watching it, but I actually really like it. I don't know. Actually, I did enjoy like that whole concept. It was like, hey, yeah, like this person, like, of course, incredible mage and all that stuff, has all is very powerful, stuff like that. But also, it's like, hey, this person has lived like hundreds of like a very human's lifespan, right? Like she's like 1,000 or something years older than that. She's an elf, and it's like, yeah, like that one journey, like for 10 years, really changed her that much. Like she seemed like she changed a lot with him and all that stuff. And there's a lot of times where like they say something, and when they say it, they go back. Like you see like a flashback of like him and all this stuff, and whatever, like what changed her, what made her like change. And I'm like, I really do enjoy that. I like that part of the story. I really meld with that pretty well. But like I said, I didn't know like fully what it was, but the title I guess makes sense. Like, hey, it's Beyond Journey's End. Like, yeah, the journey, the 10-year like thing was over, and this is the aftermath of it. Like, this is the era of peace or whatever that they talk about it in the show. Like, I don't know how fully the anime is faithfully to the manga or anything like that. I think I'll read the manga at some point. But overall though, I do enjoy it. It's something I like I said, I really enjoy it. I say that a lot, but sometimes I don't really think too great about they probably should put bullet points at some point, but most time I get on free range of talk unless I just really want to do a video. But yeah, so it's pretty chill, right? You hang out, you have a good time. But in terms of like the characters in it, I guess I could do a little more review type stuff a little bit right now. In terms of like character designs, like the animation, everything, pretty solid on all fronts for the most part. There isn't really any characters I really felt like were that badly written, I guess. I'm not no like major in literature or anything like that, or hella write anime stuff, or write anything, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, to my eye and how like me watching other anime and stuff, how it compares to, I think they're pretty solid. I do enjoy the design. The premise is pretty cool. I mean, it hasn't been done before. I mean, probably in the horoscope of, well, that's probably not the right word of that, but the scope. Let's say the scope the scope of, you know, the lens of everything. Um, but yeah, like it's just kind of crazy. Like it actually isn't that bad. Like it's pretty solid, and most of the time, you know, when I was watching it, I actually kind of felt for the characters a lot. Like I actually do really enjoy just being in the world. Like it's something that, like, you know, there's always a thing that's like, oh, like people ask you, oh, if you get isekai to any world, like where are you going? It is a world I would be comfortable being isekai into or being put into. Like that's pretty much how I gauge a lot of words. Like, hey, that's a good gauge, you know. Like, hey, wouldn't I be there? Yeah, I'd be there. Like, fuck it, dude. Why not? You know, of course I was like, oh, Dragon Ball Key, you know, stuff like. But you know, with this like random tangent, I might do a video about this later. But most people don't understand. Like most time, if that legitly happened to you, a good example is ReZero. If you haven't seen ReZero, I would highly suggest, like, this is like a good concept of what I'm talking about. But when Subaru gets teleported into that world, right? Whatever happens to him, I don't fully know what happens to him. I haven't read it, but I didn't actually watch season 3. But it's like, hey, he's some normal ass dude. He's a normal guy. He's as normal can get for the most part. And he gets cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he has some, like, you know, innate abilities and stuff, but like he gets cooked, right? Absolutely. And that's what most time I'm like, yeah, like that's it. Like that's what I feel like I would happen to me if I went out there and did that shit. Like I'm getting cooked, right? Like I'm getting cooked in Dragon Ball, but Key Blast hits me, I'm done. I'm done. But this world, I mean, yeah, like I might be some regular guy, but even so, like it seems like a chill place to be. I mean, yeah, you got demons and stuff that come and get you and stuff, maybe, but for the most part, it seemed all right. You know, maybe I could learn some magic abilities. Who knows? The world may never know. But anyways, like yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like I said, it's a good watch if you're looking for something to watch and something that's not too long and actually can get its point across really quickly, and I feel like it entices you really early. I feel like it does a good job of that as well. It's a very enticing thing. Now, of course, like, you know, it's new age anime. Some people might not like it like that, but I think overall it's pretty solid. It's a pretty solid anime. I would honestly, it's probably at least like, even though I say it's pretty solid, I still like it's probably like a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10. Um, there's a few things that, like, you know, like it does that, you know, it may not be like the cup of tea of everybody, but you know, like I like it. I like the fantasy lands. I just do. It's just it's one of those things that I like being able to be whisked away into, you know, whatever land it is, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So I guess what else I kind of randomly spew on about to make this video longer. Oh, as I drop the Vinci. But no, I guess let's talk about the main cast, I guess, because I guess there's like the main cast, but then there's like the precursor main cast, I guess I would call them. Like you have Himmel and everything, which you learn about their story and like things as the thing goes on. It puts hints in there. They show flashbacks, of course. But then you have Stark, Fern, and Frieren, which is the three. You have Stark as a warrior, stuff like that. Fern and of course Frieren are mages, as they do. I think. Oh, what was the guy's name? I forget the guy's name. I think it was Goatee Man. Goatee Man, I think, is what they called him, or something like that. I forget his actual name. He was pretty cool. He was a priest that traveled them for a little bit, and he's the one to find his friend that was like, to the east of the magical capital where they went. Something like that. And you know, yeah, cool. You know, so whatever. Um, and it's one of these things where like looking at the three, like they meld well together, and like of course you have Stark kind of has the quirky thing of being like Deku in season 1, where he would just kind of like, you know, be a wimp sometimes, where he would complain a lot. I don't know, is it Deku in season 1? Who is it? Is it Deku? I mean, Deku kind of does that, but also there's other ones, like, you know, he has that archetype of like, oh, I don't want to go in there. That place is scary, and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, you gotta go in, you know, like that's how you gotta do it. You know, so like that, you have Fern, which is she's very way more stoic, I guess, in a sense, and she's very like, she's also a, you know, of course they're like, you know, more youth than older, so like they have their kind of quirks about trying to, like, you know, they don't they also it's like the good love thing. So like Stark and Fern, I think, or they're trying to get together, they're trying to work it out, but they don't really know how. You know, it's like the beginning of the relationship. You know, they have to kind of work that shit out. But you know, it's interesting to watch. You know, just the dichotomy of the two and how they work. And then you have Frieren, which is she's Frieren. She kind of like knows things, but then also is like she's very socially awkward. It feels like it was all kind of socially awkward, but at the same time, like they get better, they do more, they know how to talk to people, they know how to conversate. But it's just it is what it is. But you know that's how it be. But anyways, I don't know. That's really a 10-minute video just talking about free reign because I can. So why not? Anyways, if you guys enjoy, you guys can like, subscribe, do that fun stuff if you feel like it. It's always appreciated. And yeah, you can subscribe also if you want to keep up to date. I said that earlier, but you can subscribe if you feel like it. Hopefully, the audio's not the biggest piece of trash can I've heard in my life, but who knows? It may be. Anyways, enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.